anytime there's
God.
like a voice of dissent or basically a different voice that's away from the norm or the
Yeah.
far left liberal mob, for some reason the standards and the stakes for you or for me or anybody who's like outside the norm, somehow the stakes and the standards are so much higher than everybody else.
Yes.
Like we can't fuck up, we can't be wrong
Yeah, it
once.
can't even be accidentally wrong or
People,
even issue a
I don't know
retraction.
if this is the best example, but like people like shit on Alex Jones, like, oh, he was wrong about Sandy Hook, but yeah, he was
Hmm.
right about a ton of other stuff.
That's
So it's
another thing.
like,
And he apologized to Sandy Hook
yeah,
multiple times. He feels
yeah.
bad about it. And like, what more can you do? I mean, these people want to cancel him completely for one mistake. And yeah, it was a heinous mistake. And don't get me wrong, that was a terrible thing to suggest. I mean, it's not like he out and out said it, but like he made a horrible implication there and he walked it back almost immediately. But still, it was a bad thing. But he apologized for it.
Yeah.
And he has to live with that for the rest of his life.
And he has a conspiracy mind. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
I know
his
what you mean.
mind
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know. I was like listening to him on Rogan the other day. I was like, maybe he's autistic. Like I wasn't even saying that in a shitty way. I was like, he just has capabilities, you know? Like he's able
He
to
does
see.
have capabilities.
I think his
Yeah.
brain is constantly breaking apart and putting together things. He's constantly, because when
Yep.
you think in terms of conspiracy theories, you have to always think about what's the
Hmm.
truth behind everything, and
Yeah.
sometimes there's not truth behind it, like with Sandy
Right.
Hook, right? So, but
Yeah.
in
Right.
other cases, that proves very useful, and those are good
Yeah.
skills to have. It's like
Hmm.
taking apart a computer. Sometimes you don't always put it together and it works. You know, it's like
Yeah. Right.
you
Yeah.
just have
It
to.
works.
But
The
you know
funny
who's
thing about
yeah.
him, yeah, the funny thing about Alex Jones is I think Rogan once asked him, "Do you believe in the moon landing?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." It's like I guess he researched the moon landing and he found that it's real. It actually
Yeah,
happened. Whereas
yeah.
Rogan was like, "Really?" Because Rogan was not, he was on the fence about the moon landing. He actually thought it was fake.
Yeah. I like how Joe, because Alex is somebody who needs a handler. He needs
Yeah.
somebody to like calm him down, get him a drink, get him a
Hmm.
snack, tell him to relax, slow him down, get him to explain himself, have time to fact check. Like, I
Yep.
don't feel like Rogan was stifling him by any means.
No.
I think he was just like, hey,
Hmm.
we're aware of how many people are watching this, and we just,
Yeah.
almost like doing what he could to make him look good and make him look
Hmm. To give
right,
him a fair shake, right? To give him a
Yeah.
fair shake. That's what
Yeah.
Rogan did, and I that's what I like about Rogan is that he gives his guests a fair shake, right? He
Yeah.
doesn't walk all over them. He lets them speak. He lets them air their views, and if they want to dig a hole for themselves, he just lets them do it. He doesn't stop them from doing it. Look at Elon Musk. I mean, as much as I respect the guy, that whole smoking pot thing was a bad idea. It's a
What
bad
was
idea.
that? Did I miss that? Um,
Yeah,
um,
he smoked pot on Joe Rogan's show. Yeah, and
oh,
his stock tanked, and he got in trouble with the SEC over it. It's
just for smoking pot on a podcast?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Wow.
that's it. Yeah,
That
yeah.
seems kind of ridiculous. Be like,
It's
oh,
his optics,
I thought it was called a podcast. Oops.
Yeah.
That was not funny at all.
No,
um,
you tried. You tried. A for effort.
I
A for effort.
Most people don't call me out when I bomb, but it's good. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Um,
Yeah, I speak the truth. I just say it like it is. And sometimes I misidentify riders who happen to be standing on a roof and turns out they're not riders. But most of the time, I just say it like it is. And it's
Yeah,
that's just my
you know
personality.
who else is wrong sometimes? Any other journalist, the weather guy, your
Hmm.
own parents, every teacher you've ever
Everybody.
had,
Yeah. Yeah,
everybody.
and these people can keep lying over and over and over and over again, right? MSNBC, CNN, even Fox News nowadays, right? They go on TV, they lie to your face. They talked about what the P tape, Donald Trump's P tape. Everybody was talking about that, and it was completely fabricated. It was the Steele dossier, right?
Yeah,
Completely made up. And they never walked that back, right? They're claiming it's real, even now, even though it's bullshit. And then they have the fucking audacity to call out right-wingers for making a small flub,
hmm
I'm not
yeah.
even talking about Alex Jones. You're just talking about us in general, like, oh, yeah, we misidentified one thing once, and we immediately issued a retraction. Oh, that's not good enough. You're canceled.